If you're eating protein to help reverse your diabetes, but you have no idea if you're eating too much, too little, or even the right kind, you need to hear this. Hey, I'm Diana. I'm a registered dietitian, a certified diabetes care and education specialist, and I'm my master's in nutrition science. And today we're going to settle the protein debate once and for all, because here's what's happening. You've probably heard that protein is good for blood sugar. You've probably also heard that too much protein is bad for your kidneys. And then someone on the internet told you to eat a pound of chicken every day to reverse diabetes. So which is it? Here's the truth. Protein can absolutely help you reverse type 2 diabetes, but the amount matters. The type matters even more. And if you get this wrong, you could actually be making things worse. Today, I'm going to give you the exact numbers the research supports, show you which protein actually helps reverse insulin resistance, and tell you what to do if you're worried about your kidneys. But before we go on, if you're interested in a free guide that goes over the best steps to reverse insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes and includes meal plans and recipes, then comment guide below and we'll send it to you for free. Let's dive in. Okay, so first things first, why does protein even matter when we're talking about reversing diabetes? Most people think reversing diabetes is just cutting carbs. And yes, carbs have a huge impact on blood sugar. But here's what a lot of people miss. When you eat protein, it does something really important. It helps you feel full. It helps preserve your muscle mass. And your muscles, they're like sponges for glucose. The more muscle you have and the healthier that muscle is, the better your body can pull sugar out of your bloodstream and use it for energy. Protein also has a much gentler effect on your blood sugar compared to carbs. It doesn't spike your insulin the way bread or pasta does. So when you replace some of those refined carbs with quality protein, you're giving your body a break. You're lowering the demand on your pancreas. And here's where it gets tricky. Not all protein is created equal, and eating too much of the wrong kind can actually increase your risk of diabetes, not decrease it. So let's talk about the numbers first, then we'll get into the type. All right, here's the number everyone wants to know. How much protein should you actually be eating? The research gives us a safe, effective range of about 0.8 to 1.3 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That's roughly 10 to 20% of your total daily calories coming from protein. Now I know some of you just glazed over that because we're talking kilograms. So let me make this super simple. Take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2, and that gives you your weight in kilograms. Then multiply that number by 0.8 for the low end and 1.3 for the high end. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds. That's about 91 kilograms. Your protein range would be roughly 73 to 118 grams per day. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's about 68 kilograms. Your range would be about 54 to 88 grams per day. See, it's not one size fits all. It's a range. And that's actually a good thing because it gives you flexibility. Now, if you're actively trying to lose weight, and for most people with type 2 diabetes, losing even 5 to 10% of your body weight can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. You could go a little higher. The research supports going up to 20 to 30% of your calories from protein. That might be closer to 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. Why does higher protein help during weight loss? 3 main reasons. 1, it keeps you full. You're less likely to snack or overeat. 2, it protects your muscle. When you lose weight, you want to lose fat, not muscle, and protein helps you hold onto that muscle. And 3, it can modestly improve your A1C and blood pressure. Not dramatically, but every little bit helps. And here's what's really interesting though. There was a big study done in India that looked at people who actually achieved diabetes remission. And you know what they found? The people who reversed their diabetes were eating about 18 to 20% of their calories from protein. Not 40%, not 50%, around 18 to 20. So the takeaway here is simple. You don't need to go extreme. You don't need to eat chicken breast at every meal. You just need to be in that sweet spot. Okay, so now you know the range, but here's the part that most people completely miss. And honestly, this is the part that could make or break your results. It's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about what kind. And the research on this, it's a total game changer. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Plant protein versus animal protein. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you can never eat meat again. That's not realistic for most people, but I am here to show you what the research says because we are very research and evidence-based. And the data on this is really, really clear. There was a study called the CardioPrev trial. It followed people with heart disease and type 2 diabetes for 5 years. And what they found was incredible. People who increased their plant protein intake from foods like beans, lentils, whole grains, nuts, nuts had a 71% higher chance of achieving type 2 diabetes remission. And here's the kicker, they didn't even lose weight. Let me say that again, they didn't lose weight. They ate more plant protein and their diabetes went into remission at a significantly higher rate. Now, on the flip side, multiple large studies show that high intake of animal protein, especially red and processed meats, is linked to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes in the first place. And get this, the research shows that if you replace just 20 grams of animal protein per day with plant protein, that's like swapping out a small chicken breast for a cup of lentils, your risk of diabetes drops by about 20%. 20% from one swap. So why does plant protein have these incredible benefits? It's not just about the protein itself, it's about what comes with it. When you eat plant protein, you're also getting fiber, you're getting antioxidants, you're getting phytonutrients that help reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. When you eat animal protein, especially red and processed meats, you're often getting a lot of saturated fat. You're getting compounds that can promote inflammation. And over time, they can make insulin resistance worse. Think about it this way. Plant protein comes with the support team. Animal protein often comes with baggage. So what does this look like in real life? Beans and lentils are your best friends. Black beans, chickpeas, lentils. These are packed with protein and fiber. They're filling, they're cheap, and they have a very gentle effect on blood sugar. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. They're all good sources of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Tofu and tempeh. If you're open to soy, these are excellent versatile options. And yes, soy is beneficial. It is not bad for you, contrary to what you may have heard. I'll do a whole video dedicated to just soy and its benefits for type 2 diabetes. Even whole grains like quinoa, oats, and farro all have protein. Yes, they have carbs, but they also have protein, fiber, and resistant starch that actually helps control blood sugar over time. Now, of course, I'm not saying you have to go fully plant-based, but I am saying this. If you want to reverse diabetes, shifting the balance towards more plant protein is one of the most powerful things you can do. Start with one meal a day. Make it plant protein focused. Maybe it's a lentil soup. Maybe it's a bean burrito. Maybe it's steel cut oats with nuts and seeds. Just start with one. Okay, so we've covered how much and what kind, but here's one thing we absolutely have to talk about. And if you have diabetes, this could be the most important part of this entire video. We need to talk about your kidneys. This is where a lot of people get scared, and I want to clear up the confusion. Here's the reality. Diabetes is one of the leading causes of kidney disease. High blood sugar damages the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys over time. This is called diabetic neuropathy. And a lot of people with type 2 diabetes either already have some kidney damage or are at a risk for it. So why does this matter when we're talking about protein? Because your kidneys are the organs that process protein. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down, uses what it needs, and your kidneys filter out the waste. When your kidneys are healthy, there is no problem. They handle it just fine. But when your kidneys are already damaged, adding a high protein load can potentially make things worse. It's like asking someone with a sprained ankle to run a race. The ankle might be able to handle walking, but running, that might be too much. This is why the guidelines are different for people with kidney disease. If you have diabetic kidney disease, most guidelines recommend keeping your protein at or below 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. That's the lower end of the range we talked about earlier. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you have diabetes, you need to know where your kidneys stand. Ask your doctor to check your kidney function. There are simple tests, your GFR and your urine albumin, that can tell you exactly how your kidneys are doing. If your kidneys are healthy, you have more flexibility with protein. You can safely be in that 0.8 to 1.3 range, or even a bit higher if you're losing weight. But if there's any sign of kidney stress, you want to be a bit more conservative. Work with your doctor or dietitian to find the right amount for you. This isn't about fear, this is about being smart. You can absolutely eat enough protein to support diabetes reversal while also protecting your kidneys. You just need to know your numbers. And honestly, this is also a big reason I recommend more plant protein, because research shows that plant protein is gentler on the kidneys than animal protein. It produces less waste. It's easier for your kidneys to process. So if you're worried about your kidneys, shifting towards more plant protein is a win-win. All right, let's bring this all together, because I don't want you to leave this video feeling overwhelmed. I want you to leave with a clear plan. So here's what you need to do. Step 1, calculate your protein range. Take your weight in pounds, divide by 2.2, multiply by 0.8 and 1.3. That's your daily range in grams. Write it down. Step 2, start shifting toward plant protein. You don't have to do it overnight, just start with one meal a day. Make it plant protein focused. Beans, lentils, soy. See how you feel. Step 3, get your kidneys checked. If you haven't had your kidney function tested recently, ask your doctor at your next visit. It's a simple blood and urine test, and it gives you critical information. Step 4, focus on the big picture. Protein is important, but reversing diabetes isn't just about protein. It's about reducing ultra-processed, refined carbs, added sugar. It's losing weight if you need to. It's about eating whole foods. Protein is a powerful piece of the puzzle, but it's not the only piece. And here's the thing, you don't have to be perfect, of course. You just have to be consistent. Small changes done consistently over time add up to massive results. Okay, so let's just recap. The safe, effective protein range for most people with diabetes is 0.8 to 1.3 grams per kilogram per day. That's about 10 to 20% of your calories. If you're losing weight, you can go a bit higher, up to 1.5 grams per kilogram. The type of protein matters just as much as the amount. Plant protein from beans, lentils, soy is consistently linked to better insulin sensitivity and even diabetes remission. Replacing just 20 grams of animal protein with plant protein can lower your diabetes risk by 20%. And if you have kidney concerns, stay at or below 0.8 grams per kilogram and work closely with your healthcare team. And again, if you'd like our free guide that goes over the most helpful tips to reverse type 2 diabetes and includes recipes and meal plans with a lot of plant proteins, then comment guide below. If this video helped you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe if you haven't already, because we make videos like this every single week. All right, I'll see you in the next one.